on this tiny little Greek island. It is Friday and the end of a very busy week. Today, to all of you Nicks out there, Nicolas, Nikos, everybody, all of you who are um, uh, celebrating today, Nikki, Nicoleta, all of you beautiful people, Chronia Pola. And the weather is still not good. I think we're going to see sunshine on Wednesday. So when it gets very cloudy and rainy and windy and I kind of try and keep myself a little bit just extra positive, extra just, always looking upwards rather than down, because when I start looking down at like the things that aren't going well in my day, it can just kind of tumble, and it's just a weather thing, right? I know there's lots of people who are very affected by the weather. I am one of them. But over the years, I have adjusted that. It just it doesn't bother me as much. Of course, when I really think about it, the any kind of emotional ups and downs just kind of disappeared when I started doing the carnivore diet. Yeah. Some of you out there, Corby, if you are here, you know what I mean. And so I would like to say, and this is what I believe, that it has much to do with what we eat and how we nourish ourselves and how we choose to build up or tear down, which is probably what I did most of my life, tearing down my physical body. So, what does that have to do with painting? Not very much. However, in the sense that when you are not so tossed and turned by all the ups and downs that are happening within you emotionally, you have more of a steady practice in your studio, as well as in the rest of your day. Your life just becomes smooth sailing. Even in the upsets and the difficulties, there seems to be more of a groundedness there. And, the physical, right? The physical body is our conduit to doing all these things that we do in this life. And if your physical body is healthy, if you're in good shape, health-wise, I mean, I don't mean like being all muscled, which would be something that I would like to begin to incorporate much more of in my daily life. But when you don't have health issues anymore, and I don't, which blows my mind. I mean, really, but I don't. My practice in my studio and my creativity generally has become just more physical, more solid, more condensed, and it's something that I can stand on. It's something that when I'm up here in my, wild creative visualization area, the place where inspiration sparks and all of that, at the same time, I'm really quite grounded. And I love that. I love that. I love that. So, just how much of your physical body plays a role in who you are. So people don't think very much about what you put in your mouth, right? You think you just eat it, tastes good, you get some nourishment, and out it goes. And we don't we have been sideswiped from that basic healthy nourishment, right? And my main idea about that is, eating whole foods. Whole foods. I'm carnivore because I can't even do vegetables. Otherwise, I get flare-ups and things they don't work as well. So I'm carnivore, but my general perspective on it is if it comes out of the ground and it's a whole food and it's not packaged or pre-mixed or this, that, or the other thing, you can assume that you can eat it as long as you have awareness of what's going on in your physical body. So, in that respect, this topic is, in fact, part of the creative realm because if you're coming through the funnel and you're funneling down that creativity and limiting it, you come with a physical product. And our bodies are the physical product of us, of who we are. And so, in that sense, I will come here today on this Friday and bring in how we nourish our bodies, what that does to us, the mistakes that we make, and again, if you are not aware of what's going on in your body, then the same kind of thing happens when you're learning how to paint, or if you're not aware of the mistakes you're making, of what you're putting on your canvas, and how you are putting it on your canvas. And, are you over painting? Are you not giving the canvas, this painting, enough? Are thinned out, washed out brush strokes, or are they big, thick brush strokes? Are there too many thick brush strokes? Or, it goes on and on and on. If you're not aware of what's going on your canvas and how you are approaching your canvas and your abilities and your experiences in painting, and how that, hello, my dear brazen hearted, and how that affects how you're painting, you're missing out. You're missing out. And it's for me, has become a very healthy habit of seeing even how I change my diet, from a high carbohydrate diet, because I was raw vegan for many, many years, and moving into the keto carnivore diet and getting rid of the carbohydrates, and how that just really gave me the grounding that I needed to be in a better place within me. And it was when I noticed, when I changed my diet and I was more grounded. I just felt more of the physical part of me. I wasn't lost up here in La La Land. Things started getting practical, and here I was, like, painting and starting this YouTube channel, and doing things that I never dared to do before, ever in my life. And, you think, well, what, your diet can do that? And I'm going to say yes, that changing your diet, getting rid of the things that don't belong in your body, basically, and finding ways to clear out and really lowering your carbohydrates. If you don't go keto and you don't do the carnivore thing, yeah, okay, right? People who have health problems usually slip into the carnivore diet to, well, one big one is just to lose weight, right? You lose a lot of weight and come back to your own natural form. But people who don't really have health problems will just kind of, it's just lower the carbs, lower them, uh, and bring up, do the keto thing. I think the ketogenic diet is really, really healthy. For those who are really, really healthy, already, like the paleo kind of thing, whole foods, whole foods. And just watch how things change. They can be very, very subtle, just very subtle. But they do, and they will. And the same thing when I'm up painting and looking at, the similar mistakes that I make, the mistakes that I make. I am not terrified of of conflict. I'm not terrified of criticism anymore. I am not. I crave it. I want it. I need to know what I'm doing wrong, or the things that other people are seeing in me that don't quite vibe. And maybe I should take a look at it. Just because somebody says, well, Vita, you're like this, you're goofy, doesn't mean that I'm going to drop my goofiness to please this person. That's not what I'm saying. But if somebody says, you really are goofy, and maybe too goofy for this culture in Greece, and that's true, I probably am too goofy. But but that's perfectly fine with me because I like my goofiness. I do. I like it, and I'm going to embrace it and put it out there. And, whoever wants to hang out with me hangs out with me. And whoever doesn't can go find somebody who's more serious and not me, not me. So, I would take that kind of thing also onto my canvas. Do I really love using this, Goofballs Unite? Absolutely. Yeah. So if there's a certain part of me, the way that I paint, that somebody can say, you're doing that wrong. That's not how it's to be done. And I can look at it and say, well, yes, for, a realistic type painting, or representational, or impressionistic type, artwork. Like for instance, in my trees here, the tree almost always is darker than the ground plane, right? And there may be, and there are, depending on many different circumstances, alterations to that. But if I really love painting trees lighter than the ground, I'm going to keep doing it. Personally, I don't. I like the realistic feel. I love those foundational elements, that place to stand on, the diving board that I can dive off of. I need to have, for me personally, I want to know how to do things. Like I want to know how to walk well so that I can, go and learn how to do I love those like swing dancing things. I've been watching those on TikTok. I love that. I would have loved to have learned how to do that, but you need to have a certain groundwork to move off into any type of dancing. And same thing for me with painting. That's what I like. Of course, if you're the more abstract type, you go in and you do whatever. You do what you do. You absolutely. Off on a little rant this morning. So I think it's really healthy when you understand who you are, and you understand who you are in your studio. That's even better. And then even better than that, from my perspective, is understanding what's going on in this inner studio and the different areas. And yeah, I use the 7 major chakras, right, as my beacons of the process of limitation, the process of manifestation, right, taking an idea and putting it out into the world, an idea for a painting and painting it and doing it. And somehow, when I changed my diet, not only did I get healthy, like seriously, unbelievably, just blows my mind. But the areas that I was always blocked in, these more physical, more grounded areas, I just kind of never went there. Meaning that I would get an idea and think, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I never really did it. It always got down to this area where I really liked the idea, but just, I couldn't pull through with it. Didn't have the confidence, didn't have the willpower, didn't have any of those more grounded, necessary elements to really pull it through. And when I went carnivore, right, those things just kind of opened up without me actually doing anything, without me making a decision to be this way or that way or another way. It just kind of happened. So for me, it was and is, I'm almost, in March, I'll be 4 years fully carnivore, and I'm still here. I'm still alive. It hasn't killed me. Just as a side thing, about 20 years ago, maybe 18 years ago, I went raw vegan. And raw vegan, especially here in Greece, anything vegan wasn't even a concept at the time. Thanks to the internet, you get to come across all sorts of things. I did that raw vegan, started that live kitchen where everything sprouting beans and seeds and this and that. And I was constantly creating and cooking and eating 100 times a day. For the first 6 months, I felt great. And then I guess it was about 15 years ago. So I did this raw vegan thing and then went vegan to expand the diet a little bit because I was not ever really feeling satiated. And, I could not you couldn't go to a store here in Greece, not even in the city, and find vegan options. You couldn't go out to eat and find vegan options at the time. They just weren't there. It didn't exist. People thought I was crazy. the years went on, it became more known and understood, and lots of people turning into the vegan way of eating. I was not vegan for the ideology of it. I don't particularly like ideologies. I tend to stay away from the whole, that whole thing. Seems like a box, and I don't like to stick myself in a box. But I moved from raw veganism through veganism, started eating a little bit of dairy and eggs, and then fish. And as the years went on, the only thing that was left for me to do to try and heal my health issues was, I came across keto, and I was like, keto, what's that? And I started looking at it, and then carnivore is a ketogenic diet. So I went straight to carnivore, thinking I was going to die within a month. And rather than that happening, I got better. It took about 6 months, but boy, I got better. And so now the carnivore idea is like where veganism was 15 years ago. People don't understand it and don't there's a lot of ridicule and things like that. So it's the same thing. It's a way. I do support eating whole foods, real foods, not packaged foods. Stay away from seed oils. It's like using student grade oil paints or Chinese made student grade oil paints. Pasty, awful stuff that just will not, no matter what you do with it, you will not be able to create to your ability. So this has been a very strange morning musings. It's the end of the week, right? I can do this. So you guys, I'm going to get off, get back to finishing this video gosh, if we don't lose internet today, which I don't think we will, I'll be able to upload onto the YouTube channel, and it's about painting a tree. The fabulous. Well, that's really nice. I hope you didn't mean that in a cynical kind of way. I know you didn't. I know, Brayson heard it. I know. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, off to my day, done with the musings and my crazy, out there kind of thoughts. But hey, that is who I am. It is me. So there you have it. You guys, be inspired, be creative, be you. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I will see you all again on Monday, I hope, weather permitting. All right, Brazen Hearted, go to bed. It's really nice to see you. Take care.